learn about morphology in flowering plants. The next question, velamen takes part in absorption of moisture from air, absorption of water from soil, exchange of gases or transpiration. What exactly is a velamen? Velamen is a tissue present in the epiphytic plants for the purpose of absorption of moisture from air. Hope you remember when we were discussing about the epiphytic adaptations in orchids especially, we spoke about the hanging roots where we mentioned about the velamen tissue. So, velamen tissue is predominantly meant for the absorption of moisture from the air. So, the appropriate answer would be absorption of moisture from the air and not absorption of water from soil, because epiphytes are the ones which grow on the other plant or the surfaces of the tree trunks. So, they do not grow in the soil environment. So, B cannot be appropriate answer. Exchange of gases is done by the pneumatophores. So, this cannot be appropriate answer. Transpiration is no way connected to it. So, the appropriate answer is option A. The next question says, relation between bacteria and the legume having nodulated root is that of host parasitism, commensalism, symbiosis, or it is epiphytism. The legume, the bacteria residing in the leguminous plants of a nodulated roots are whether they are showing a host parasitic relationship or they are showing a commensalism or a symbiotic relationship or a epiphytism. What exactly is a commensalism? Commensalism is where one partner is benefited and the other one is neither benefited nor harmed. What exactly is a host parasitism? Host parasitism is a relationship where host is harmed and the parasite is benefited. So, the host parasitism relation cannot exist between the bacteria and the leguminous plants. Why? Because the bacteria residing in the nodulated roots of the leguminous plants helps in the nitrogen fixation, and in turn the bacteria are provided shelter by the leguminous plants and they are benefited from the bacteria by the fixation of nitrogen. So, they are neither harm, both are benefited in this relationship. So, it cannot be host parasitism, it cannot be commensalism either, but there are two more options which says symbiosis or epiphytism. Epiphytism cannot be the option. What does the symbiosis says? Symbiosis says it is a mutualism between the two organisms or the interaction between the two organisms where both are benefited. So, here the relationship between the bacteria and the leguminous plants, here both are benefited. How? The bacteria is provided the shelter and the leguminous plants are in turn getting the nitrogen fixed by the bacteria. So, the appropriate answer would be symbiosis. The next question, some plants have rhizome and roots as underground structures. Which characteristics of rhizome would distinguish them from roots? What are the options given? Rhizomes are thicker than the roots, rhizomes have scaly leaves, Rhizomes are thinner than the roots? None of the above. Which character of a rhizome would distinguish them from roots? So, the option A, rhizome are thicker than the roots or rhizome are thinner than the roots doesn't make any sense in this question, but rhizome having a scaly leaf differentiate them from that of the root. Rhizome is a modification of a stem. So, stem is having a scaly leaf. So, that is a character which is differentiating the stem modification from that of a root. So, the more appropriate answer would be rhizome have scaly leaves. The other three options are, the option A and C doesn't make a sense here, and of course D is not an appropriate answer. Well, the most appropriate answer is the presence of scaly leaves differentiates the rhizome from that of the root being a stem. The option is option B. The next question says, in one of the following, the stem performs the function of storage and propagation. What are the following? What are the answer given? Ginger, sucker, radish and thorns. So, the stem perform the functions of storage and also the propagation. When we take up the option B, sucker, it is a stem modification which is meant for the purpose of vegetative reproduction. So, it is again for the propagation purpose, but it is fulfilling only one criteria. It is not meant for the purpose of storage, but only for the propagation. So, option B, it is fulfilling the question partially and not completely. So, option B cannot be the answer. Coming to the option C, radish, it is for the purpose of storage, wherein the taproot is modified for the purpose of storage and it is called as fusiform roots in case of radish. So, here again there is a partial fulfillment of the question. So, here this cannot be a appropriate answer. Coming to the thorns, thorns are the ones or the structures present for the defense mechanism or to check the loss of water. So, they are not fulfilling either the storage nor the propagation criteria. So, option D is also rejected. So, the more appropriate answer is ginger, which is a stem modification called as rhizome. When it is a stem modification, it is having the nodes and as well as the internodes. The nodes are covered over by the scaly leaves and from the nodes arises the adventitious buds which help for the purpose of propagation. So, the rhizome of ginger is the best answer which is solving both the criteria by being vegetatively propagated and also for the purpose of storage. So, the appropriate answer is ginger, option A.
ಡಿಯರ್ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್, ನೀವು ದಿವಿಗೆ ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಚಾನಲ್ಗೆ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ಗೂ ಹೇಳಿ, ಇದೇ ಥರ ನೂರಾರು ವೀಡಿಯೋಸನ್ನು ಫ್ರೀಯಾಗಿ ನೋಡಿ.